Thank you for joining us. Another edition of South Bridge Street Live. My guest tonight really needs no introduction. My dear friend, Brother Gary Moses. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this thing with me, being a part of it so early in its inception
Well,
of the show.
all you had to do was ask, Ingrid, because glad to be with you, and we've done work together before in the past on several
Tons of stuff.
events and things that you've done a lot already, and we're very proud of what you're doing. So it's
Thank you.
and an honor to be here with you tonight. And I just look for good things. Anything you touch usually turns out pretty good.
Thank you very much. Oh, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah,
Sure.
Everything. No, I'm just joking.
Everything.
I'm just joking. Well, I think we first met. Well, of course, I've lived in Victoria now 20 years. How long have you lived in Victoria?
Well, I've been here all my life.
All your life.
And born and raised here in Victoria. Love this place.
You're
and it's
Victorian, true and true.
True and true, and it's been good to me. I love it, and that's why we give back. And again,
yes, amen to that. That's
I see that a lot in you. You've been giving back to the community. You've really gotten into it, and you've done a lot of good work, and you really enjoy what you do, and you give back.
Well, because my whole intention is to one day take your throne, and I'll be Sister Sparkman.
They much rather look at you than me, so I want you to know.
I'm totally teasing. I want, the very first thing off of the top of my head is to ask you again, where did the name Brother Gary Moses come from?
I got it.
All right.
I remember way back when, I started teaching school. I was getting out there in public, doing some community service work, doing a lot of stuff, summer, recreation, and sports. And a few years went by, and I was on a radio station.
Uh-huh.
And the local radio station I was coming on, and they said, here's our brother Gary. I started saying that because when they were out and when we were out, a lot of people would say hello. Mm-hmm. Hey, how you doing? Hey, brother. They call me brother. Kids at school that had graduated. This is in the 70s. And
yeah.
Already
so
had
there was a lot of brother.
A lot of brother. After they've gotten out of school, a lot of people,
mm-hmm.
they didn't really call me brother, but they were always saying hello.
Uh-huh.
And knowing and meeting a lot of people and making people feel good is what I was trying to do, because I enjoyed people. And they kind of gave back to me by the name of Brother. Say, Brother Gary, good to see you.
So you've had the name Brother Gary Moses since the 70s.
70s.
Wow.
Late 70s, I'd say. Probably late 70s I picked that up. I started teaching 70, 71, way back when. And
you were a teacher in 70, 71.
And I was doing all this recreation and these special mm-hmm. events and community service work. And Ingrid, I just got out there, and some of the people that were with me, the DJs, we walk down the mall with you, or we go somewhere with you, everybody's talking to you, and we can't stay that long, and I love it.
Oh, the guys from the radio station would come. They're coming out and they're doing their shows on, on
well, when we were out
location.
there talking, or just going out with meeting somewhere, doing mm-hmm. a special event, and a lot of people talking. He said, "Well, we call him Brother because he's everybody's brother." People talk to him, so that's where it started at the radio station.
So cool.
Way back, maybe in the late 70s.
In the late 70s.
Maybe so. I think it's somewhere around there. I know it's been forever, it seems like.
Wow. Oh, that's so cool. When I first moved to Victoria, and I thought, or had heard Brother Gary Moses, I thought you were a monk.
Well,
I say a religious affiliation.
Yeah, I'm your brother, not of the divinity, but I'm your brother.
Well,
and that's something. Yeah,
yes,
works out pretty good.
Yes,
I'll take it. But yeah, I always tell him, no, not really, but brother Gary, I'm your friend, I'm your brother.
I love that. I think that just makes you just even more beautiful in my mind.
Thank you very much.
What a very special title.
A
very unique and special title.
Yeah, that's the one I want. I mean, that's the one I like.
Yeah.
I've been very blessed to do what I do all these many years, and it just keeps growing, and even to this day, it just seems to be more and more and better and better, and it's been good for an awful long time.
I want to talk about what is a typical day for you. That you've retired. Hey, and thank you, by the way, for being a school teacher.
Yeah, I did that.
That's amazing.
40 years altogether in that building. 37 as a teacher, 3 as a student at Patty Welder.
At Patty Welder.
And you see, and I had the best of both worlds. I was teaching, loved the kids loved me.
What did you teach?
American history, some Texas history,
cool.
summer government and economics. And you were making relationships for the rest of your life with those students. That was a double whammy. I had that. That was great. Now I was a teacher first, an educator first. Then I started doing all this community service work. And you start seeing people from all walks, some of your students, families that you knew, then other people you were meeting, and it just has been great.
What inspired you to do community service work?
I just got out and I got a summer job. My first year teaching school, and I said, I want to do something this summer. I don't, I got to work. I've worked my whole life. Since 14 years old, I always worked summer. Worked bag groceries or stock groceries.
Where did you bag groceries?
Dick's Food Stores, right down the street from us.
I love it. Yes.
Where are we at right now? Southbridge?
Southbridge Street, yeah.
Right over there on Moody Street, right over here.
Yeah, and Laurent.
Moody? No, this one, Dick's West End, right over here.
Oh,
not too far from your studio.
Oh, wow.
Right here. I was over there, 14 years old, turning 15. I looked for, I'd done that up till I went through college. I worked there, came home on weekends.
Same family that owns the...
Dick's that owns supermarket.
I love that family.
And I did that, so my first year I'm teaching school. I looked for a summer job, and I got this summer field trip program and working with more kids, going to different places, setting up programs, a lot of it on your own, on your own time. We started making friends, and then from that time on, working sports events for the school district, and then people see I said, Mr. Moses, my kid, could you do the quinceañera? Would you MC that for them, or would you come to this? And it just snowballed, and there were certain events that were going on, and I got involved with recreation, sports, and it just evolved from that. And it just took off.
Most people don't know this about you, so I want to talk about this, is that you were quite shy when you were younger.
Was shy. In school, when I wasn't in the classroom, kind of quiet, but outside, started coming, I could talk a little bit better, but I was shy at school.
Were you really shy? Did you ever see yourself, Brother Gary, becoming this figure in the Victoria community where you would be at events and you would talk and you would MC?
Never would have thought that I would be. You're not thinking that at all. You're just thinking about going to teach school. But, it was a coming out party, I guess. In college, I was friendly. People liked me. But talkative, no. Maybe at work, started coming out, but not really, really overly talkative. Through high school, I started coming out a little later on. And then during teaching, get to the summer, and start doing these programs, I got feeling more and more better about what I was doing and getting out there, and it just snowballed. And came out of that, whatever shell it was, I came out of that. And it wasn't much of one, but it was one. Didn't really talk up or expect to be talking. Who would have thought I'd be talking in front of crowds all my life? Do it all the time.
Or 25 years ago, think that in 25 years from now, I'm going to be sitting with you on a TV show, on a fun, live thing. How crazy is that?
Who would have thought that? Back then, you were saying, talk in front of a crowd. In speech class, you didn't want to get in front of the class. You remember that? Horrified.
In speech.
Yeah. And I did okay when I got up there, but who wanted to do it? You were, do I really have to do this?
Oh, I dreaded it.
And sure was good. The more I did it early in life, the better it was. So it was the best thing for me to, get out there and start doing that, because I got over any kind of fear of being in front of a camera or talking in front of a crowd, and it really snowballed. So, golly, who knows? Who really knows about what we're doing? So I love this.
So you retired from teaching in what year?
Let's see, this is my 9th year out, so about 9 years ago, 2008, 2009, right in there. And
I'm sure that there are elements of teaching that you miss.
I loved it. I loved teaching the kids.
I did too. I miss teaching.
Miss the kids. Teaching was great. I loved the classroom. It was perfect for me. I was blessed to do what I really wanted to do. It was good to me. I loved the kids, and they reciprocated. A lot of them to this day, still, hey, Mr. Moses, still a lot of Mr. Moses out there.
Right.
And or Gary, some of them feel like they can say Gary, which is fine.
Yeah.
Or Brother Gary.
Right, I was going to say.
I get a lot of the Brother Gary.
Yes.
And you talk to them, and you just, I'm very proud of you. You just tell them, I'm very proud of you. You work with a lot of them at Citizens Medical Center, or I go anywhere and I see a student, always somewhere. Former student, yes, former student. I always talk, and they can't wait to come and talk to you, and you can't wait to talk to them. How good is that?
Yeah, that's amazing.
How good is that?
Yeah, I
It's
love
wonderful.
that influence, that impact that you have on their lives for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, blessed. Blessed. And I want to tell you that Victoria High School is where I graduated. Great times back then. Even at Shy, you made a lot of friends.
Right.
And not so shy, because when you got back, we were all, there was guys over there barely set a peep in class, but they were your best friends, and we got together after school, worked together with a lot of them. And I want to tell you this one. This is great. Just recently, we dedicated that new monument in front of the old Victoria High School, Liberty Academy. Victoria High School, and I was asked to MC the dedication ceremony. It started off, kick it off. I get over there. It was on a Saturday morning, not too long ago, 1 month and a half ago maybe. I get over there, and I'm there early, and I start seeing a sea of people come from the back parking lot of the old Victoria High School, from the side. We had 500 people come to a dedication ceremony, 10 o'clock, for about, it's about a 45-minute ceremony, maybe.
Wow.
500 people. The superintendent was there, Dr. Jackledge, and Corjo Hummel was the one that asked me, and she and her class, I believe, got the funds together to do it. 1961 class took the lead, got other donations to put the monument out there. How good was that to see buddies? I saw some people back up their cars, want to see anything, just to be a part. We really, back in the 60s, loved school. I mean, you cherish those days. I'm sure they do today, but that was bonding right there.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Okay, yeah, and they're coming from all over. I said, this many? I thought maybe a couple hundred, maybe.
Yeah.
Might get that. Who knows what was going to come, but they kept coming and coming, and we estimated around 500 or so people.
That's amazing.
And this, Ingra, we're out there doing this, and they open up. We had the stingery in the front of the office. They cover it up now because it's not Victoria High School,
Right.
Victoria Stingeries.
Yeah.
They took the cover off it, moved the chairs and the sofa, and they let us all see the stingery.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Because
it
they
was-
cover it now with what? Like a rug?
Carpet,
or-
yeah, rug, and they have couches there, and they open it up
So
for
they
us.
moved the furniture and they pulled the rug?
Rug so everybody could see it, and everybody who was out there had to go inside the building to go see the stingery.
That's awesome.
How good is that?
Yeah,
That's so good.
so cool. That
love
is
that.
so cool.
Yeah, so that was a big day. It was kind of set the tone for the day for me.
Yes. Oh.
And I've been telling that story, and everybody's been talking to you. You were there? Yeah, Gary, we saw you there.
Oh,
I said,
that's
wasn't that great?
awesome.
60s. The 60s people that was the majority of the people there. Some 70s, 80s, 90s. It went through the 90s.
So what did you do in the 60s and 70s?
60s and 70s was, like I say, Victoria High, Southwest Texas State, where I graduated. And then I started teaching in 70, 71 right there at Patty Welder, my old stomping grounds, and loved it. And like I say, that was the best education you could go. Go to school, Patty Welder, and then come back. Welcome back, Cotter. What do they say? The name of that? You come back to your old stomping grounds and say, golly, is this really real? I mean, this is something special.
Okay, well, tell me then about your day now. Like because I see you places, and I see you places, often. And I know if I'm seeing you once a week, some other people are seeing on you every day of the week.
There's
so what
something
are
every
you doing?
day. Ingra, there's something every day that I go out. I'll start in the morning. There'll be some radio, several days in the morning.
Tell me times. I want to know
Time-
times.
well,
Like,
6
I want to know
o'clock.
what time you get up.
I get up 4:30. 5 is sleeping in.
Wait a
Right,
minute.
right.
You get up at 4:30?
4:30. I'm out.
morning?
Most every morning, especially the ones I have radio. I'm out there at 6 o'clock,
Right.
a little after. We do that. I do that several times during the week. The other times, maybe you go run an errand or two, drop off some paperwork, maybe at the Advocate, do the radio, and then you go to work, and you're at Citizens
And
Medical Center.
you're welcome probably on all the radio stations.
I'm on several of them already.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
Do you have like a regiment? Like at 5:30, you're here at this station, and 6.
I
you're
do.
just
There's a
moving
couple.
through?
There's several days that I'm at a certain regiment at a station.
Oh my gosh.
Some we do in the morning. Some we do at lunch.
I'm already
Some we do with you.
tired.
Some we do with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so that's just your morning. That's before.
But then I go to work and I do that, and
Tell
then
me
there'll
where you
be
work.
a Citizens Medical Center. I'm the
like
public
the
public
tele-
relations
yes,
man over there.
Really, you're in PR?
I'm
I would
PR.
have never guessed that.
First time. And I've been enjoying that. I did teaching for so long, and I did the radio before, almost
Yes.
And back in those days, when I was teaching, I was like 4 or 5 days a week. I did it every morning. And
did you ever say something on air that you wish you hadn't have said?
Well, no, I'm very careful.
Yes.
I can't remember anything bad, but there were some conversations you just steered clear of, you know.
Yes.
You steer
Next
clear.
question. Pass.
Yeah. I just don't say anything. I say, well, and or you stay right in the middle. Just don't say too much.
You're probably not going to, then with that, I'm going to ask you, has there ever been anyone here that you met that you didn't like?
No, I try to like each and every person, right?
I knew you were going to say that, yes.
You try your
but
best.
Like after the show, you tell me.
I like everybody. That's the key to success. Try to get along with everybody.
Oh, Brother Gary, I'm teasing. Yeah, no, I absolutely.
Key to success, right?
Yeah, that's the key to success.
Yes.
Especially not to call them out on air. That's also a good tip for.
Well, you know better. I mean, you were brought up right. You were brought up by good parents, I'm sure. I know you kid, but that's
my
the
mom
answer.
used to say, "Your mama ain't no fool. Your mama didn't raise no fool." Yeah, no. Be nice to everyone. Be kind.
Key to success. We taught that to the kids, you know.
Yeah.
Back in those days, when you were teaching in your early days, you know, there's a lot about not only teaching the subject, but about real life.
Right.
You know, we tell them, you don't do that. Now, we could say a lot more. Nothing bad, nothing. Just tell them about life, what to do, what not to do.
Right.
You need to be working. You need to be out there doing good things. Watch this, watch that. Mm-hmm. You know, we threw those things in too.
Right.
Right.
There were a lot of life lessons and a lot of
learning experiences that you can get. And a lot of those kids will say that today. They remember a lot of the things that we talked about, some of the stories that we told that were real life after you got the lesson in.
Right.
But good for life lessons right there.
Right. And there's not a lot of room for that now.
No, there's not a whole lot of room for that. I want you to know I'm still involved with the school system.
Right.
Ingra. This Friday, I'll be at Dudley School speaking to the kids, Cinco de Mayo celebration, but I think we're talking about community service, so I look forward to that. I've been doing that for years. Right after I leave there, I'm going to Smith School. They're having a pep rally. They asked me to come and kind of pump up the kids a little bit for the tax test that they're going to be taking.
Right.
So, and you know, every week or a lot of times, several times a month, I'm at different schools. Motivation, community service, pumping them up, whatever, judging, just something with the kids. And I do it from the very small. And I've been in a number of elementary schools, pre-elementary. I mean, you know, preschool, what do you got, pre-K?
No, pre-K, preschool.
Preschool, whatever, and all the way up to the colleges. I'm speak at the colleges too, the universities, high school, junior high, all of them. And I love it because I'm still in the classroom or in the school building. And that's very important for me. So I still get a taste of it each and every year, a bunch.
So you left us earlier in the morning, and you've gone to work, and then now, what time do you get off for work, and when are you?
It varies, you know, because there's no set time. I'll do some stuff during the day, possibly. I might go to an event where they ribbon cutting or
which is all part of Citizens PR program.
PR program
for you as well.
Right, and if it's on my time, that's fine too. I'll go to some of the schools, and you know, and it might be a full day work, and then you have something almost every night. Monday through Sunday. I mean, really.
No, you have something almost every night. There are some nights. This is like Tuesday night. This is my night without children. This is the one night a week.
And you carry it so well. Which you're carrying it well, yes, ma'am.
But
But I mean, there's something almost every night. I could tell you the variety of events. You know, there's ABR. There's I did the nurses banquet last Friday night. There's Saturday we were at a karate tournament, a car show this past Saturday. I did a benefit and a karate tournament. It was at Vickers. 5K run Saturday morning. This is a typical Saturday.
Okay, Gary, I'm watching you, and you're giving me all this is past events and then events coming in the future. How do you keep up with all of that?
It's all right. I'm conditioned, and you know what you're doing right now. All the things you've done with 365, and you've done well. And I want to ask you a few questions too. You condition yourself.
That's not part of the script.
No, ma'am.
No,
it is.
I'm just teasing.
Because we like talking to you too. We like people need to know about you too, and I know they're getting a lot of it because of what you're doing, but even more. But you know, I mean, one thing right after another, and I'm conditioned to doing many things.
Right.
But it takes time. You just don't go out there and do it the first day. I got to do all this stuff, and it takes a while to get your calendar ready, get the paperwork out, send it out, help people you're on the get your time straight. And this is constant.
But you're remembering events that are coming up and were behind you.
Programmed. And so, you know, look at you. All right, you're 365. I think that was terrific what you did, 365. You have to be organized. Tell us, how did you do that and the work it took to put something like that together?
Oh, with everything else that was going on?
Well, that's
a lot of
big
patience from my family.
So you have
that was how I did all that. A lot of patience with my family. I think the desire to serve, you know what I'm saying? Like the desire to serve others, and you can fit these things in. And the 365 project, though, was appealing to me because I could do it any time during the day.
That's good.
That I knew, you know, because I knew I was going to have to do it sometime that day. And the first couple of weeks, I might have pushed, I might have done everything else, and then 365 came later. Then I'd be rushing to like Walmart at 11 o'clock at night. And I said, I'm not going to do that anymore. Although the people that I met at Walmart were some of my favorite interviews and some of the funnest people.
They were fun people.
Yeah, and and you're right. I mean, I just kind of conditioned myself.
You conditioned yourself, and it's something you programmed yourself to do every day. See? Programs.
So you're saying that you can actually program yourself to remember all of the events that you have coming up?
I have.
And all the things that have gone, and then in between?
Yeah, a lot.
That's amazing.
A lot, you know, and I mean, and you're doing that right now at a younger age, much younger age, that you're doing it.
No,
much
Brother
younger age.
No, Brother Gary, make no mistake. I am writing stuff down in a calendar, in a book, and then I can't find the book, or I'm running around, or I'm going back to the ranch in the middle of the day because I forgot that.
You know what that proves? You're normal.
That I'm normal?
You're normal. Because we all misplace it. I do, and I get it. Gary, what'd you do
Have
with
you
that
ever
paper?
forgot a big event?
I have not big event, but I've had a couple of small, big events, you know, pretty much programmed.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them you didn't write down and just slipped by, and you had to pick up the ball on the first bounce.
Yeah.
You drop the ball, but you try to pick it up on the first bounce.
Yes.
And that's what we've done. I've done it a few times because that many events.
Right.
I mean, tons of events. Every once in a while, one will slip by you. Not often.
Right.
Oh, boy, I better get over there. I just remember I was supposed to meet Mrs. Lockstead. I remember that one.
Right. Oh, you missed it. Mrs. Lockstead.
Yeah, Miss Lockstead. I'm on my way. I called her back. Miss Lockstead, it was a meeting, you know, or something, and I've gotten there and run in there before, but not often. That doesn't happen often, but it does happen to the best of them.
Right.
It does happen at times to anyone because, you know, just you're human.
Yes.
You're human.
I am human. I've checked.
I said you're normal. That means you're normal.
I'm human for sure.
But again, you program yourself with all the things you've done, and like I say, blessed to go to these many different places, and not just in Victoria, around the area. I go to Goliad, Cuero, Porta Vaca, Bloomington.
See, it's all Victoria County.
Industrial,
it's not just
all of Victoria County.
Texas.
I do parades out of town. I do special events out of town, and
what do you do for fun?
That's it. This is my social life. It really is my social life. I really think about it. If you can do that, you have the energy and the time to do this, which is very special to me. That is your social life at the same time.
This is what you do for fun.
That's what I do. You know,
love that.
I do. What is this week? The banquet. I was just talking to a lady today. Build Association. Their banquet. They asked me if I'd like to come. Yes, I'll be there Thursday. You're doing something every day.
Do you ever pretend like you're sick and pretend like you can't make it? I'm very sick.
I don't think I've missed a day of anything. Now I have been double, triple booked. I couldn't get to it, but I've always made wherever I've said I'm going to be. I've been there.
That's
very,
awesome.
very blessed. Yes, good health.
Good health. Yes. Do you think that does? Do you think a part of that does keep you young? Meeting people, loving people, sharing the community.
I do. One man told me, he said, you know, I was telling him I've been doing this for a lot of years, and he was looking at me. Now. You can, ma'am. You're in charge. It's your show. You do what you want, and we'll honor you and back you up. He told me, he says, it must be working, getting out there and staying busy. And I said, it does, because you got a smile on your face all the time. And you have a smile on your face, you're enjoying what you're doing. I think it works to your advantage. It does. Because, and Ingrid, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to ask you this. Didn't you get self-satisfaction out of doing that 365 and these projects that you're doing right now, the show? And don't you get self-satisfaction out of that?
Absolutely.
Working? Self-satisfaction.
Right. No, absolutely. To help, to know that anything that I'm doing, or my producer volunteers like I do, so we can do this to
We're all
promote,
volunteers here.
right, to promote the community. It's a really amazing feeling. The Monument 361. This was
Yes.
so neat. Pablo Perez called me, and because you kind of wonder when you're doing something new like this, is it working? How is the community, community responding? It's so completely different than anything I've ever done before. It's more, I'm more because I'm on the air and it's live. That was, I love the community. I love getting out there, but it's different as a writer because it's a quiet, very intimate, very
Yes.
personal. Or in the boardroom setting, when they're asking me to write a fundraiser from scratch or doing these things,
You
I'm
see,
asking
that's something I haven't
spiritual
done.
goals.
And that's intense. It takes time, and you have to be.
Well, I'm
have the
real bossy. So, like, if they ask me to do it, they know the rule.
Okay.
Like, I'm doing it
All right, ladies
all.
and gentlemen,
and
you
I'm
heard
not-
that.
Yeah, like, I'm getting it all. But, to be out of my element, but then to have like, Pablo Perez, he was one of my first
Pablo.
interviews. Yep. And he called me the other day, and, like, his voice cracked, mine did too. And he said, guess what? We've gotten donations from a gentleman who was in a bikers club, who was doing a bikers rally, that they were coming up, I believe, in Goliad. And he said, listen,
Right.
we want to commit to donating monies to the monument.
Wonderful.
And then I saw it on, Southbridge Street Live. Makes me just keep going. Like, that's such a cool conversation to have with someone who just called to tell me thank you. Like, his time was over. He didn't have to call me. He never even had to say
Right.
another word. Like,
But he
But he
did.
called to let me know that it moved someone and it worked for him.
Satisfaction
And that
from
works
helping
for me.
others. See, it's just as good for me as it is for those people that we think we're helping.
Right.
You know what? I get a joy out of that too, and you just said that right there. You see?
Yeah.
It's self-satisfying in a way, and it's okay to enjoy what you do and to want to do it. So, we're very, very blessed to do what we do, and I say that every day. I say, thank you, Lord, man. I've got the health to go do this. I've been doing it a long time, and I still feel like, right in the middle of what I've been doing for my whole life, still doing it.
So what time are you done with your day?
Well,
like, you're just like, I'm done.
I came in from the nurses practitioners banquet about 11 o'clock on Friday night. There was Fiesta Saturday, and I came in I finally gave that one up about 10:30 at night. And then on a weeknight, maybe if you get in at 8 o'clock, that's a good time. 9 o'clock, and then, there's still things you have to do. I can only get my work done. You're going to say the same thing at home when the kids are. It's got to be the dead of night so I can get some paperwork done.
Right.
The dead of night when everything is stopped out there. That for you,
Yes.
it's stopped, and you can get some paperwork done. That is the only time. So it's late in the. Is that you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where all the writing is done for
Yeah,
the magazine.
dead of
for
night.
Sure. Dead of night. Everything has to be quiet. So you're like many people that I know who are artists that are only a
How
couple
about
of
an
nights.
artist? You're an artist, but
Nah.
But, yeah.
no, like just a couple of hours a night.
I have to get my
asleep.
paperwork done. Right. We don't get much.
4 or 5 hours.
Max.
Yeah.
5 is max. 4 to 5 is probably
Yeah.
what it is.
Wow.
We do that.
I get way more sleep than you.
Well, and there's some days you might get a 6th one in there, but it's not many, because you go in, you do that, you get up early. But I'm programmed, and I've been getting up early all my life. When you teach and you've done radio beforehand, and this is just a way of life. I'm pretty much my own alarm. Now I do have alarm set, but pretty much my own alarm clock. I'll wake up. It's that time.
Okay, so do you have a master? Is there like a Brother Gary Moses master calendar?
I have a calendar, and I write notes all day. I have to put them in there, and I'll get those notes out and then put it on the calendar like that. It's kind of. I have a master calendar. You have to, and it can't be really just like that because you don't have the time. Who has the time to make it just right? But you write it down on a piece of paper and you put it in there, something which, oh yeah, remember, I've got to do that. Get that news release out for that person and get this. That reminds you, I do have a master calendar.
You do, and it's not on your phone? Because I still have yet to
No,
learn
ma'am.
to use
No.
my phone.
That's too much time to put on the phone.
You don't have a
Right.
Facebook page still.
No, because I'm so busy. I don't think I have the time to do that. But I'll write it down. And if you write it, jot a note down, it'll go back. So,
How are you going to watch the show?
well, I'll watch it. I'll find a way. Don't worry. People tell me when it's on, things like that. I have people.
Oh, I don't
out
mean
there.
like in general. I just mean this particular
I'll
show.
watch it.
Are
That's what I'm saying.
Are you
I'll
curious
know.
about how
Yes.
it went?
Well,
Yeah.
I'll end up watching it.
Oh, that's
Have people
fun.
that set that
I
up.
know you had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of views on that 365. I mean, it was just hundreds. And then I wanted so bad to be able to like show you. This is amazing. This is incredible how people responded. So I asked you then, and I'll ask you now, 3 adjectives, Brother Gary, that you feel best describe you as a person, as a spirit.
Well, energetic.
That's no lie.
Helpful.
Yes.
Energetic, helpful, and love. Love for what I do.
Yes.
So,
that's awesome.
I think those are 3. Just the first 3 come. Other adjectives that would say how much we enjoy what we're doing. Because I see it in you. I'm looking at your eyes. I see your face. And you're enjoying your previous guest. I could tell you're good buddies. And she's good. And I know y'all running together. But I see that you're enjoying what you're doing. And I see it in your eyes. From the previous projects that you've done and we've worked, and I've been around you, and I see it in you. From the magazine to the 365, to the writing, to hanging those pictures and portraits up, to the show here. It shows.
Did you get to go to? You saw conventional art. Did you not love that?
Yes, I did. I loved it.
Awesome.
I did. I loved that. It was
and
great.
that's not a tooting my own horn.
No, that was great.
How beautiful to be able to go to the convent and to
be
trusted.
You did wonderful with that event, and the sisters enjoyed it immensely.
Oh, I know.
They were so thrilled.
My favorite part was to get them out. My favorite part, actually, was my father-in-law and Sister Alberta Novosad.
Yes, Sister Alberta.
She taught him when he was like in the 4th or 5th grade.
Wow.
And she came out that night to see him, and I knew I was really praying that she would come. And once I knew that she was coming, I set a chair up for her so she could sit, and she brought copies of her book.
See?
And, you know, she sold out. That made me so happy.
That was a night out for the sisters.
So,
and they loved it.
So Sparky and Sister Novosad finally got an opportunity to talk after, 20, 30 years they hadn't seen each other. And later that night I sort of laughed because I thought, 6 months ago I told Sparky I interviewed Sister Novosad. He remembers her and she remembered him. I kind of feel like I built that whole art show just so they could talk, just so I could get them out.
Well,
it was a lot of work, but they finally, finally got out. Yeah.
And a lot of people came. When I came there, I had several other events, and I was coming a little later. But we got there, and I was so thrilled to see that.
Thank
the
you.
sisters were so
wonderful,
and they enjoyed it immensely.
So now I want to start a nun club. I want
a nun club?
Yes, a nun club. I want to be able to once a week maybe
club.
go get them. Well,
Okay.
sometimes use that.
You work
go
with
and get them and take them out. I want to take them to Gorilla Gourmet just because I just think that's such a fun place for them to go. And then be somewhere wherever they want to go, so they can go out and be with us.
Isn't that wonderful? I'll go to NA a couple of times a year. And the sister that runs the program, she's a principal over there at NA. They're so wonderful. I go down there. They treat me like a son,
Yes.
and they're so wonderful. Sister, we're in the library. I'm reading to the kids. Sister. Just makes you feel so good, and I really enjoyed that event.
Oh, thank you.
Well done.
It took lots of work and
I
lots
believe
of
it.
people. Always, I have an amazing team always behind me.
I'm noticing you have a team. You do a lot of it, but you have to have some people or good
Do you have a team?
contacts. Well, I have contacts.
Right.
I do have a team, like sound man that'll go with me to, all right, we'll do the sound for the Casa run. And he'll come out there, and I've got some boys that if we need to do certain things, and I have contacts that can get things done, because you build them up throughout the years.
So you don't have a secretary that you talk to every morning that
No, ma'am.
says, here's what your day is going to look like. You just do it all by yourself?
ma'am.
That's awesome.
Do that by myself. I loved it. We were asked to go to the Psi Psi Tau.
A what?
The Psi Psi Tau girls sorority group.
Uh-huh.
Gail Coley-Hote. We just had a fashion show and luncheon last week. We took our sound. She's been booking me for. Can you bring that sound man? Can you play some music? Yes, we can get it. I'll get it donated.
Oh, cool.
And you have your people that that you work with, that you do for, give you a favor back, and just that way we've been building up those
Contact,
relationships and contacts all these years. So we do it that way.
Yeah.
And so we did that last week. Had a ball. I emceed it. Volunteered my time. A lot of it's volunteers. What you and I both do.
Yeah.
And your people are volunteering with you, and my people know that there's. We'll do something good for you. It's a trade out of, or help you down the road somewhere.
Right.
And that's what we do.
Well, I think everybody that I work with, they're all,
just like that.
Yeah, philanthropic hearts.
They're just like that.
Yeah.
We've been working with that for years. There's people that give, and when they can, and you don't over ask, but you ask, and you work, and then you give when they need something. So we're helping each other out.
What is one thing that most Victorians don't know about you?
I don't know. I'm pretty wide open out there, so it's just that they know I want to work, and I care to help others, and I don't know there's much that they don't know by now, because I've been out there for years.
Yes. Okay, well, what about the comb in your pocket?
All right. Well, the comb was, you interviewed me, and
Yes.
I told you, I was looking for something silly. There's certain things that you got to have on you when you were growing up, and one was a comb. I mean, if you didn't feel like you could leave the house if you didn't have a comb in your pocket, that was one of those things. It's a watch, a belt, but that comb. How many times I used that comb? Hardly ever, Ingrid. But I got that comb in my
And you
back
have
pocket. Yes, ma'am. And that hardly ever, but that comb has always been a.
That's awesome.
Look at that. And that comb is just something special. I never used it. It's brand new. But you have it just in case you need it.
And you always keep it in your back pocket?
Back pocket. That's just something we did. There was a time when we were in junior high that put brushes. That was a brush back in your back pocket. Wear your pants out, with that brush sticking out. But the comb.
Like it was a fad.
Yeah, it was a fad. And that comb was always in my pocket. There was other guys who always had a comb. You know how grease, the grease thing. My hair never went like that. But I had a comb because they had a comb. So we all had a comb in our pocket.
I love that
Back
story.
in grease, with no grease.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you've carried a pocket since grade school? I mean, a comb in your pocket since grade school?
Grade school, probably junior high. I know for sure junior high.
Junior high.
Because that's when you start coming out now a little bit. These guys got combs or brushes. You got to have something in your pocket, So it's just a fun, those things that you remember. I'll tell you one more about it. I never went to reunions because I was always working. They always had our reunions in the summer. A little short story here. You'll love this. And they would do them around July 4th, and I would always be working the fireworks show and all kind of events, summer, school, whatever, and didn't go to the reunions. Finally, they started doing these mega reunions. Listen to the title of this one. You heard about the 60s at Victoria High. We called it Lost in the 60s. Lost in the 60s, Victoria High School reunion. And they said, Gary, we'd like you to come and MC this. And I was in my 50s already, and I hadn't been in any of these reunions. And they said, Gary, would you do this? And I said, sure, I will. We do them about every 3 years because, we're starting to lose some people here, Some of those in the early 60s and 50s.
Sure.
So 60s, we want to do it every 3 years. We'd like you to MC it. Well, the first one, I did it, and they hired to sing Roy Head and the Traits. That was a band that played back at the Club Western. We all grew up at the Club Westerner down here.
Yeah.
Not too far from your studio.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of this is South Victoria.
Yes.
South Victoria. So, Roy Head and the Traits, he had a song. Check this out. Treat Her Right. When you looking through the song, Treat Her Right was a big hit. About a 2-minute and 15-second song, but it was a hit.
Right.
Treat Her Right. And it was back when the days we had B.J. Thomas and the Triumphs. B.J. Thomas saying Raindrops Keep Falling on Your Head. They would come to the Club Western. Every week we'd have one. We would go to those dances. Gary, we're going to bring Roy Head and the Traits down to this first mega reunion.
Oh, wow.
Okay, well, Roy's been a little older when he got there. But his song was still Treat Her Right. We had 1,200 people, this first mega reunion. This is the 60s, Lost in the 60s. 1,200 from Victoria High came. You about 10 classes, you get 100, a little over 100 from each class. We had 1,200, and he played. I said, ladies and gentlemen, a blast from the past. Here's Roy Head and the Traits. They rushed the stage, and the first song he played was that hit song, Treat Her Right.
Oh my gosh.
Dun, 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 and he played that, and they rushed the stage, Ingra, and that warms your heart right there.
Oh.
And they stayed to listen to that song, and then everybody broke back to their groups right after.
Yeah.
But they rushed the stage like it was
I
the good old
love
days.
it. Like it was the good old days.
Yeah, it was about
That's
10 or 12
awesome.
years ago was our first mega reunion. That's when I first started going to reunion. 1,200 people in the community center, about as many as you could put in there. And it was just great. It was just, and I've been going to the mega reunions since then, like 3 or 4 of them now.
Oh, that's so cool. All right, tell me another story.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't
All right.
wherever you
All right,
go.
story right there. I would
Give me another story.
All right. Well, when I talk to the kids, they love animals. Okay. One more story. And I was on John Stockbauer, and these kids, you tell them at community service how we help veterans and people who had fires at their houses, older folks, seniors, and we like to do a lot. But animals, I'm close to, and kids love stories about animals. There's a little dog that was running in front of my car on the middle of John Stockbauer. Yes. Well, we saw him in the middle of the road, and I saw him, and I put my hands out. I'm telling the kids, I got their attention because you start talking about a dog. We had 2 dogs in here earlier, right? Do we love them?
We're not supposed to talk about pets.
Well, they came around. Anyway.
Well, and they are, anyway.
They're family.
Yes.
They're all family together.
Yes, yeah. They're neighborhood dogs, but they're awfully sweet.
The little dog, right, because I love animals.
You're going to get in trouble.
No, never. We'll never get you in trouble. But, I got close to the animals later in life.
Yeah.
And, they've become very close to me, and I had a cat.
Do you have pets?
I had a pet that just passed away last summer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cat. Broke my heart. But that little dog's out there in the middle of the road, and it's coming down, and I'm putting my arms out. Slow down. I put my arms out and rolled the other window down. I know my heart wasn't even going that far, but I got it slow. And there was another man that saw that dog. Little buddy, no collar, middle of the road, cutest dog. I'm telling these kids this, and they're just looking at these at school. I've told this story several times in different elementary schools. I even told them junior high, and they loved it. And he's coming down, and he veers off to a station, to a 7-Eleven, one of those stores over there. And he goes there, and I pull in. And those kids are, man, I got him right here. And that little dog, he's breathing hard, kids. He went into the store. The door opened up. He went into the store. Another man drives up. Brother Gary, I saw that dog. And I said, well, brother, we got to get that to, adopt a pet or somewhere. We took it, got it. The dog was breathing hard. We took it to a Dr. Beck's. He right down the street from us on John Stockbauer. And those kids are saying, you know what, you got to be good and take care of animals. He didn't have a home, you know. So we got this little dog. We're holding it. And the girls, Mr. Moses, we sent a store. What can we get? We're just going to get it to see if we can find out if it has a microchip or something. We didn't. So we take it to Dr. Beck's, Ingra. And these kids are just like this. I said, and that dog's still breathing like that. And the kids are, and they want to tell you about their dog. And I said, we took it over there, and guess what? The nurse that came out, she saw the dog, she called her girlfriend, and she showed her a picture, took a picture with her phone. See how those phones help out now. And her friend said, I'll take that dog. Didn't have a microchip, didn't have a collar, so it was just.
Yes.
And we said we were going to take it to Dr. Pet or Dorothy O'Connor, make sure it got home. And we got it home right then and there.
Aww.
And I told them, and everybody wanted to tell me about their story, about their animal. And that was so good. I love that. Animals are close to me.
Me too.
Too.
We have 6 dogs. Yeah.
God bless you.
Three that are rescued and 3 that,
God bless you.
Do you want a dog?
I would take her. I'm afraid, when they're a dog, I'm never home enough, but I had a cat that was indoor.
Yeah.
But aren't they a blessing?
Yes.
They are. 6 of them. You'll be blessed.
So you're a cat lover, or
Well,
you're an animal lover.
Animal
it's
lover,
one of
but
the things that maybe some people don't know about you.
I am an animal lover, and I do. They'll see me anytime, any kind of event where you can help those agencies out or help a dog rescue. I just got called today. Carol Cloggis, you know Carol, and she said, Gary, we're going to have a fundraiser. We need help this dog that had a broken leg, and we're doing that right now. It's going to be a fundraiser. We're going to be at Chick-fil-A. She was telling me that's going to be happening.
You've got all of it on
this in
memory.
yes,
Yeah.
Wow. All of that. And wonderful. So I was given that ability because we're doing, I believe, some positive work out there. I love animals, too.
Yes.
Love everybody, but those animals have really gotten close. That story has gotten their attention on several occasions right there.
Yes.
There's a lot of other stories, but that was a good one right
That
there.
is a great story. Thank you for coming and just coming and telling stories and just being a part of this.
My pleasure. Those are, real life, those things I'll never forget. And I wish you the very best, and you're doing a super job
Thank you very
on
much.
your show, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so one of the things do you have any kind of calendar of events for May
I do.
that you want to pitch?
There's a ton of them.
Right
let's
off
see.
the top of your head? Because
Well,
you are super
course.
smart like that.
There's a ton of them. We're looking at. I'm doing end of school stuff towards elementary school. We're doing the end of school parade. There are car shows, benefits. I could go on and on. Just a ton of stuff that we're looking forward to doing.
Do you have a page, or do you have a? How do people? Let me ask you this: how do people get a hold of you when they want you to come and MC?
They get a hold of me by calling my number. You've got my number. They call the number, tell me whatever it is. I check the calendar, and most likely I'm going to do it. So,
Oh,
just
cool.
very blessed.
So you gotta be in the know. You gotta know Gary Moses' phone number.
Well,
For the
people
low
give it-
price of $500, I will. No, just
People give it out all the time,
no, just
and I
joking.
don't mind. You know what?
Yeah.
So I can tell you just so many good events coming up. There's no one. There's just
Right.
every week, Ingrid, you well know,
Yeah.
15, 20, 30 events, maybe more.
Does it make you crazy when people go? Because I've heard this before. Not in the years that I've been working in the calendar in the back part of the magazine. People know not to say this in front of me. Where some people say there's really not much to do.
I've heard that before.
Do you want to like smack them?
No. I just say, you need to come hang with me. We don't smack. School teacher.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to. No, this is old school.
I
Did you
know,
ever?
old
Hey,
school.
did you ever get a SWAT in school?
Oh, not
Did
in
you ever
school.
get?
Never in school.
Never in
Got one at home.
Oh,
Woo.
yeah.
We all
Amen.
got them at home, but yes, some people say that there's nothing to do. And golly, they need to come
There's
around.
so
us.
much going
Like
on.
that recent Jam Fest with the Casa Run, Market Days.
That
Jam
was
Fest.
incredible.
Art
That
car
was like
parade.
such an amazing
All downtown.
weekend. Yep.
There was 5 other Easter egg hunts that I could have been in that morning that I couldn't
Right.
get to because I was doing all the stuff downtown.
Yeah.
But I helped promote them. Then in the afternoon there was some more Easter. There's so much, and that's every week, almost every day, and every weekend for sure. That's how much.
Is there anything that you want to say? Is there any? What advice would you give for someone who is interested in doing more for the community? Where's a good place to start if
Good
you're going
place
to
to
serve?
start is wherever you're working, or if you know somebody that's in that business, you, me, Dana, Mike over here, any of us over here, all the good folks, get in contact with somebody at church or somewhere, or feel free to call us. But I mean, if you want to, so desire to give time, please do so and get out there because you'll really enjoy it. Most people that we hear, almost everyone says they enjoy whatever community service they do, whether it be a little or a lot.
Right.
They enjoy it.
Right. Thank you. With
Pleasure
all of
being
my
with
heart.
you.
Yes, very
Pleasure
nice.
being with you.
Thank you.
Honor and a pleasure, and you keep up the great work you're doing.
Thank
You've done great already and doing even better.
Oh my gosh.
ma'am.
Thank you so much.
I see it.
You can come now every Tuesday
Whenever
and tell
you
me
need
whatever.
me, whenever you need me. Kind of tough, but I'll tell you what, I liked it. I've really enjoyed talking
Thank you.
with you this
Yeah.
evening.
Well,
Sharing.
thank you for giving me time. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Awesome. And thank you all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us here on Tuesday nights for South Bridge Street Live.